Welcome to Trending Update USA, and I am Steffan. Today's breaking story has sent shockwaves through the tennis world. Coco Gauff, the young American superstar who has already captured the hearts of millions and reshaped the modern era of women's tennis, now finds herself in the center of a drama storm that has quickly escalated into one of the most talked about controversies of the season. What started as a small misunderstanding behind the scenes has now grown into a full-blown situation involving top WTA players, fans, analysts, and even major sponsors. And tonight, we dive deep into everything unfolding, every reaction, and every moment that explains why the drama exploded so fast and why the tennis world cannot stop talking about Coco Gauff. It all began right after a tense practice session in Riyadh, where players were preparing for their upcoming exhibition and promotional events. Coco was reportedly working on her serve and return drills when tension sparked between her and a fellow top 20 player. At first, no one paid attention. Players get emotional, competitive spirit runs high, and practice disagreements are common. But the difference this time came when voices were raised, rackets were slammed, and cameras nearby caught the energy changing instantly. Fans watching from the practice stands immediately sensed the shift, and social media took less than 5 minutes to blow up. Clips started circulating, and although nothing confirmed the full conversation, the visible frustration on Coco's face ignited speculation everywhere. What made the situation even more dramatic was that multiple top players quickly reacted, some publicly, some indirectly, making the story spread faster than anyone expected. Aryna Sabalenka, known for her intensity and authenticity, was one of the first to engage. Without naming names, she posted an Instagram story featuring the caption, "Some people need to calm down and respect others. That's all." Fans immediately connected the dots, assuming this was Sabalenka's subtle shot at Coco. Whether true or not, Sabalenka's post poured gasoline on the fire, setting up a frenzy across tennis communities, Twitter threads, and YouTube comment sections. Iga Swiatek, always thoughtful and measured, weighed in as well, but in a different way. During her press interaction, she mentioned how stress during the season can make small things look bigger, and that we all have moments we're not proud of. Again, she did not say Coco's name, but the timing was too perfect for people to dismiss. The internet took this as Iga offering a diplomatic stance while subtly addressing what happened at practice. Fans immediately began comparing reactions, dividing between Team Coco, Team Aryna, and those who insisted the entire drama was overblown. But things did not stop there. Elena Rybakina, notoriously quiet yet occasionally sharp, delivered perhaps the coldest reaction of all. When a journalist asked whether she saw anything unusual from practice courts, she simply smirked and said, "I saw enough." That sentence alone sent the tennis world into meltdown. Was she suggesting Coco was at fault? Was she criticizing Sabalenka? Was she laughing at the entire drama? No one knows for sure, but the lack of clarity made people even more desperate for answers. Meanwhile, Madison Keys added more layers to the story during an interview with an American outlet. She said, "Coco is competitive. She wants to win. But sometimes, emotions run high, and things come across wrong." She then quickly clarified she was not accusing Coco of anything, but the damage was already done. Fans began dissecting her tone, her facial expressions, and every word she said. Once drama starts rolling in the tennis world, it only needs a tiny push to keep spiraling. Coco Gauff herself stayed silent for almost 24 hours, which only increased speculation. Commentators began asking whether silence signaled that the story was accurate, whether Coco wanted time to gather her thoughts, or whether her team was planning a PR strategy. Everyone waited, and the longer she stayed quiet, the more YouTube channels, TikTok creators, and tennis analysts jumped into the conversation. Some claimed the drama was being exaggerated. Others insisted there was more behind the scenes. Sponsors began monitoring the situation quietly because Coco is one of the most bankable stars in American sports today, and any controversy involving her becomes international news instantly. When Coco finally spoke, she surprised everyone. Instead of fueling the drama or denying everything, she addressed it with maturity far beyond her age. "Tennis is emotional," she said. We train hard, we push ourselves, and sometimes misunderstandings happen. What matters is respect, and I respect everyone I work with. Everything is fine. She did not name the other player. She did not acknowledge Sabalenka's post or Rybakina's comment. She simply shut the door on speculation, but by then, the door had been blown wide open, and closing it was nearly impossible. Fans reacted wildly. Some praised her for choosing peace when others were being indirect or sarcastic online. Others accused her of covering up what actually happened. Some even demanded the WTA release court footage from practice, a request that, of course, would never happen. The drama became the top tennis topic worldwide, overshadowing tournament preparation, rankings updates, and upcoming events. Coco Gauff, the reigning U.S. Open champion and one of the biggest names in sports, was now in a storm she never expected. What truly made the situation explode was when Naomi Osaka, back on tour and rebuilding her form, posted a cryptic tweet. "Energy doesn't lie." That single sentence ignited a tsunami of reactions. People wondered if she was referring to Coco, Sabalenka, or the overall atmosphere on tour. Naomi later clarified that her tweet was general, but by then, it had already become a headline in sports media. People were connecting dots that may not exist, but in the world of tennis drama, assumptions often become reality within hours. Sponsors began issuing internal statements reminding players to avoid online conflict. Commentators were instructed to stay neutral during broadcasts. And the tennis world found itself in a strange moment where the biggest storyline wasn't about a match, a ranking, or a title, but drama from a practice session. The reason this story became global has less to do with the incident itself and more to do with Coco's rising influence. She is no longer just a young talent. She is a celebrity athlete, a cultural figure, a brand, and a role model. Anything involving her becomes news, whether she likes it or not. The scrutiny is intense. Every expression she makes, every social media post she deletes, every comment she avoids, people analyze it like a puzzle. And in this era, where online reactions are instant and unforgiving, even a small spark can turn into a firestorm. Analysts began discussing the deeper issue behind the drama: pressure. Coco is expected to consistently deliver. She is expected to win. She is expected to carry American tennis. She is expected to stay composed, polished, professional, and inspirational. But behind the scenes, she is still young, still growing, still learning the emotional side of the sport. Tennis is not just physical. It is mental, emotional, psychological. And handling fame at a young age is one of the hardest challenges any athlete can face. Some former players defended her passionately. Chris Evert said, "Coco has handled fame better than almost anyone her age." Martina Navratilova stated, "The environment today is harsher. Social media amplifies everything. Coco doesn't deserve this pressure." Billie Jean King encouraged fans to let athletes be human. Their voices brought balance to the narrative, reminding people that drama often says more about the public than the athlete. But the biggest surprise came when Venus Williams liked a post defending Coco, saying she was being unfairly targeted. The moment fans noticed Venus' interaction, they exploded with excitement. Venus rarely engages in public drama, so her quiet show of support spoke volumes. This drew even more attention, making Coco appear like the center of a much bigger divide, one between the new generation and the veterans, between emotional players and composed ones, between social media reactors and those who want peace. Eventually, players began calming down. Sabalenka deleted her story. Rybakina refused further comment. Madison Keys clarified that everything was being blown out of proportion. Iga stated she hopes the media will let it rest. Slowly, the noise began fading, but not completely. Drama never fully disappears in tennis, especially when it becomes part of the narrative of a superstar's career. And as the conversation continues, Coco is already back to training, preparing for her next match, striving to silence critics the same way she has always done, by winning. Her professionalism, resilience, and emotional intelligence have become her signature weapons both on and off the court. While this drama may have exploded fast, it is likely that Coco will emerge stronger from it, as she always does. That is why she is one of the most admired athletes of her generation. And that is why her story continues to captivate millions. This is Trending Update USA, and I am Steffan. Stay tuned as we continue to bring you every major update, every reaction, and every twist in the world of sports and entertainment.